I don't know if you guys all remember the story of David Koresh, the leader of the Branch Davidians, which was a mass movement, religious movement. Very interesting guy. So I did some research on him when I was writing my book, The Judas Effect, How Evangelicals Betrayed Jesus for Power, because I was researching cults. And the thing about David Koresh is that he hid behind the Bible. He hid behind having a godly agenda, and that covering that he hid behind is what enabled him to commit crimes and to commit sexual assault without his followers really paying attention. And the reason is because his followers were attracted to the spirit that was using him. So in 1 John 4:1, we are told in scripture that there are certain spirits that have gone out into the world and they make partnership with corrupt individuals for power. Remember, anything false, anything counterfeit from Jesus, it only wants to exalt itself. So what David Koresh did is he surrounded himself with disciples. This spirit wants disciples. It's a counterfeit of Jesus. And so he surrounded himself with loyalists, his elder board, his religious board, anybody that he surrounded himself was not allowed to question him on any of his criminal activity, of the way that he treated women, the way that he spoke, his abusive behaviors. They were not allowed to question him because he had this faulty covering. Another interesting thing about David Koresh, his name was Vernon Caldwell or something like that. Vernon something. He changed his name to David in order that he could invoke King David's name. If anybody did question him, he could say he was from the lineage of King David, and that therefore his crimes shouldn't count against him because he was anointed by God, and King David was a sinner, and so it was okay what David Koresh was doing. So my point in telling you this is that if you were to have taken away that spiritual covering, that 1 John 4:1 spiritual covering that was had seduced the people that were following him, he was just a con man. He was just a criminal. He was just a rapist. So friends, if we can expose the spirit, we can expose the man.